Hey guys, welcome back. I owe you one more. Today, I'll be reading the channels and gates of Chris Evans' human design chart for you. I've already made a video about his type, about his profile, and his authority and his centers. And this one today is going to be the crucial one. If you haven't already, you might want to start with 3 episodes about his type and so on. The videos right down below this one. But it's not a must watch before you watch this one. Chris, whenever you're watching this, you definitely should watch the first ones before this one. Okay, before every channel or gate, right before, you will see Chris Evans' human design chart displayed, so you know what I'm talking about, and you can check in your own chart if it matches with you or not, if you have the same channel, the same gate activated or not. If you have not already gotten your profile or your human design chart, you should go get it for free. There's a link below in the description. Get it for free, check it out, and have your mind blown. When I got to know human design for the first time, I was listening to my reading, and I felt like someone had known me for years and even explained to me who I was, why I was like this, and how to deal with myself. So I hope you'll have a similar experience in bits with my videos. Let's go to the channels. Okay, let's start. Chris, you have 2 channels in your design. The first channel is the channel of recognition. It's the channel 4130. And this one is about fantasy and desire. Good, right? Everything in your chart intensifies if you have this channel. This channel is about daydreaming, is about visualizing, is about imagining. You fantasize about what could be, and then you have an intense need to move in the direction of the new experience. This channel does not manifest actively, though, which is why many of your daydreams, maybe for the better, stay daydreams, and you just enjoy dreaming them as they shower you with all these wonderful emotions that you can just enjoy without having the consequences. Your focused imagination makes you a pioneering visionary of life, always aiming to build a better future for the world in the interest of everyone, which we see in a starting point. Passionate about your ideas, you are sure that they can always be breathed into life if you just follow your way of small steps, one after another, while dreaming big. You have a clear picture born out of your high integrity of how you dream the future. This channel usually shows up in people working in the social area, in the political area, in artistic ways, or even in the spiritual field. They work on their future, not giving a shit about whether others deem their ideas as unrealistic. The sentence, "we've always done it like this," starts a fire in us, as you know, there are so much better ways to be invented and so many better ideas to be passionate about. And as a manifester, you know it, they very soon then come to life, sometimes sooner than we want to. And it's so important for you to be acknowledged for your work here whenever soon results are seen, because this feedback kind of gives you power and reassurance, you fuel from this, that this path is the right one for you, that you chose the right one for you and for everyone. That's why you like corporations, be it on a movie set or in your political projects, because you want competent people around you. When being in the creative process, you're so deep in it that it may be hard to get you out of it and to gain your attention. People have a hard time guessing or expecting your mood, as often you haven't decided yourself whether your glass is half full or half empty. You may experience dramatic changes in your mood from one moment to the other, reinforced through your emotional authority. You can be a force of nature in your anger or your passion. I love this sentence. I'm going to repeat it. You can be a force of nature in your anger or your passion. You should be proud of that. You share this channel with Obama, by the way. He has an emotional authority, I think, as well. And you both share the delight of being able to see your visions and dreams coming into shape while delivering yourself off the opinion and expectations of others. Whenever you hand your dreams over to the universe in like the common interest of everyone, of the people around you, your profile 3, we serve the tribe. And whenever your noisy head like becomes quiet, however you manage this, you know exactly that magic is about to happen. If you gain the support of others that sometimes have a better overview on things than you have, as you constantly struggle with your claim of having to understand everything in its fundament before you entitle yourself to an opinion, you will be able to just watch all your visions and dreams become reality. As you are a manifestor, you subconsciously know your power in dreaming things into reality, and that's why it's so crucial for you to really get to know yourself in order to, you think, control yourself. And I think you can just let that go because, I mean, you're a good person to your very core. Even though you might not always believe it, we never believe it when people say this about us. Your incarnation cross is going to show that or prove it that you are, but let's leave that until the end because, I mean, the purpose of your life can't be underrated and I don't want to throw it like in between here. Your second channel, Chris, is the 1222, and that one we share again. So this is the channel of openness, and I will try not to repeat myself when I foreground your feelings here again, as this is once again a channel of strong emotions. In this channel, we are easily overwhelmed by our emotions and we enjoy it. There's a depth in us that makes us seem powerful, vulnerable, and unpredictable at the same time. Eat that. That's like the best words I could put in order. Being powerful, vulnerable, and unpredictable. I like it. I should have put underrated. I love to be underrated. We face challenges with natural intensity and passion, and they fuel the realizations of great things. Mostly, again, as a manifestor, and also fueled by the other channel I just spoke about. While we may appear calm and self-secure, there are numerous emotional waves going on under the surface. We don't have problems talking about our emotions as, come on, we love them. And when we grow out of, I mean, when we're in the early years, like the puberty and early adult years, we have this trying to be as cool as possible. And when we grow out of that, we develop into someone that identifies and appreciates these waves because we kind of learn how to use them. This is a trigger, like the emotional wave is a trigger for us to get rid of the pressure. And at the same time, we need to take care of those who surround us and may get hurt by this. People tend to not understand nor cope well with these waves. We can be extremely passionate in everything we do. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a deep talk or reading a good book or do sports or whatever makes our hearts jump. But at the same time, we can become so angry in these waves. Others may sometimes ask us, where the hell do these emotions come from? And we wish we had any idea. Today might not be the best day, but I just wanted to finish this today because you've been asking and I'm being late. So my unqualified English is going to be used for this today. So we wish we had any idea when people ask us, where do these emotions come from? We just don't know. We're naturally different from everyone else. So we tend to attract a great deal of attention. Consequently, we contend with the fear of being observed. We fear that our uniqueness may be found strange and lead to rejection by others. For us to know something fully, it must be repeated and heard a few times. The strange thought that we really need to read every book at least 2 times to fully take everything out of it derives from this channel. We have the capacity to really listen and hear what is being said, which makes us true listeners when we are in the mood. When our social interactions are guided by our mood, barriers come down and our fears dissipate. It's in this environment of social openness, this existential moment where it all comes together, that the magic of our mutative difference has its full impact. Quick tip for everyone with this channel. Be clear of your emotions before you address them to someone or go into contact. And please be aware, if you are in a surrounding where feelings and emotions are not addressed or okay in any appearance, blocking them will make them metastasize. And if they do so, they will then block your power, your life energy, and your flow. So denying these emotions can never be the solution for us. Trying to be less is a great pain of ours. With your keen sense of timing and an awareness of your audience openness, you know when to use your warmth and social skills to get people's attention, as well as how to get close enough to them for your words to be a catalyst for a loving change in their lives, which is a big reward for us. You use quality and inflection in your voice to move or touch people in order to educate, mutate, and communicate. When your mood and timing are in sync, you can empower others to experience love's full range of emotions through public media, such as speaking, acting, poetry, music, whatever you like. Mostly through serving others around us with a huge creativity, we sometimes feel the urgent need to go back into our cave and spend time only and exclusively for ourselves. Only dogs allowed. Please note that even when you're not in an emotional wave or not expressing your emotions openly, people around you will always kind of be influenced by your current mood. And I'd like to add that when you follow your strategy of acting from emotional clarity, like calming down, breathe, get your head to shush, because it's so important. If you're acting from this emotional clarity, then you will master all of these challenges, which I think to a great deal you have already achieved. Okay, these were the channels. Now let's continue with your gates. Let me have a sip of coffee. It's like 7 p.m. I should be drinking coffee. Mom's not proud. Okay, so the gates in your head center. Your head center is completely free of active gates, meaning you get inspired by others very quickly, sometimes not being able to distinguish those ideas and fantasies of others from your own. You will feel energetically loaded whenever you're surrounded by inspiration of people or nature. And feel free to make your Instagram account all about those beautiful trees in the sky around your place, because all of us with an emotional authority such as yours, we love it, we appreciate it, feed us. With an absolutely empty head center, and I just realized that that sounds like you're quite stupid. So meaning with an absolutely undefined head center with no active gates and no channels coming out of it. You really need to learn waiting with the pursuit of inspirations in your head and bringing them into life. You need to wait before you bring them into life until you're in a place of, you're guessing it, emotional clarity. This is probably like emotional clarity is probably it's the 100th time that I said this right now, but it's so important. Yeah, which I feel like I've been saying it about 300 times in your reading now. But not following your emotional clarity probably has fucked up most of the things that you assess as having fucked up in your life. So I think I should not be ashamed of repeating it or getting tired of repeating it, because emotional clarity, we should have t-shirts printed with that, just to remind us. All of this is because these ideas in your head will rarely be your own ideas and inspirations. That's why you also often feel the urge of finding out people's motives, because you can never know whether they come from a good place that serves you and everyone or not. And I mean, you live in a surrounding where, I mean, frankly, nobody can be trusted from the beginning. So that's just me prejudging your life. Sorry for that. Gates in your mind center. Gate 11 is activated consciously and unconsciously, which you see in the red and the black color in your chart. This is the gate of ideas and harmony that you and me share too. I love this gate, by the way. It's rich in fantastic ideas of bringing more harmony to the world and the people around you. This gate activated you to found ASP, as it's constantly active in promoting and teaching peace and consideration between people. And it's also constantly looking for uniting them instead of separating them. In me, this gate shows as me doing my podcasts, my programs, my mentorings, aiming towards a wholehearted living, being aware of shame and guilt and the gremlins that talk in your head, and just developing a compassionate lifestyle towards every being on our beautiful, beautiful planet. When gate 11 is manifesting in your life unconsciously, we also call it the shadow, it has an overactive imagination that creates anxiety and fear. It can look like only seeing what you want to see and hiding behind your beliefs, or, and I think that's more accurate with you, Chris, picking fights and pushing people's buttons. I won't elaborate on that. This gate dislikes old-fashioned ideas. Pushing people's buttons. Yeah, I'm so good at that. Oh God. It's like, and it's like urgent. People need to know. Okay, let's leave it like that. This gate dislikes old-fashioned ideas and worn-out systems. It recreates and develops. With this gate activated, we just know that the power of unity is much more influential than the power of a single person. And this explains why our ideas mostly come in spheres of public interest, less in our own interest. It's the energy for transforming higher possibilities into concepts and ideas for inner contemplation. It has a rich and rewarding imagination and can think and get lost in these thoughts for days. This gate is active in reminding the single person of their responsibility towards this planet and the greater good. Just to name, for example, Al Gore, who was a manifestor as well and shares this gate with you and me. So the motto of this gate, if it had one, would be something like change for the better. And we can see this motive having appeared throughout your life for a few years now. Let's go on to the gates in your throat. As a manifestor, a quick reminder, you will always have a defined throat, because through your throat, you bring things into life, you express things, and that's what we do, manifesting. Gate 62 is in your throat. It's called the detail, and it's activated subconsciously in your chart. So that means you find a profound joy in being conscientious and explicit in the way you articulate. From here comes your love for words and your clear understanding of complex thoughts and coherences. This gate is the energy of small detail. This is like bringing into words what doesn't have a name yet. And by naming something and assigning scope and details to an object or a concept, there's a basis for discussion. And while others get lost in the fog, you will probably be heard saying that, I think it's soon to be found that, and suddenly everybody understands the matter. Misunderstanding you is hard as you're being very clear and considerate in your choice of words and in the things you want to say. Your arguments will always be based on evidence that you, at best, collected yourself. Because trust no one in like diving deep into the fundamentals, we have to do it ourselves. So it's mostly based on evidence that you collected and experienced, and you never cease to argue with objectivity and with logic reasons. And that can drive people crazy if the conflict has an emotional root. Your ability of expressing facts that are known to few are so convincing, and like your ability to see through people and their programs and what's happening in them is so convincing that you can actually gaslight people easily, which is a huge responsibility that you carry and which you are aware of. So, gate 33 in the throat. The next one is the gate of privacy. And that one is also activated subconsciously, being the energy to retreat and reflect on experiences and events before moving on. Before this energy can be expressed, there must be a period of time to retreat and collect thoughts in order to structure them into a cohesive expression or a story that you can tell, or like a picture that you can draw so people can understand you in an easy way. After a time of extensive adventure that you experience, you need to draw back, reflect upon things, load up your battery, and draw all your conclusions out of the events. This gate also makes you a wonderful storyteller. You have a very good memory for things you care about. You care about. You forget everything else that you've read or listened to, and thus can experience more in one day than others can in a week. It's like your life can feel so much fuller, so much more intense. And this gate also secures your discretion, so people can be sure that their secrets are safe with you. I remember saying in the first video that you're like, I think I said, on the second one, I think I said that you forget everything that's not important to you and people take it personally. It's whereas it's not meant in a personal way. Not sure about that though. Something's really important to someone that I care about, I'm going to remind it. And I think I'm going to remember it. And I think it should be the same with you. So it does say actually whether people, to what extent people are important to us or not. So, and we can still be sorry about forgetting stuff, but then again, we have a lot to process in our heads. Gate 31 is the next one, and it's still in your throat, and it's defined word activated, but this time in a conscious way, as it is in my chart as well, meaning we know that we have influence and impact on people. We provide a feeling of leadership that comes naturally. Others like to trust our logical and future-oriented output. What we say to people always follows our motive of making the world a better place. We can make people feel like we know exactly what is required in this situation, and people like to constantly tell us what great impact our being has had on their lives, even if we don't even know their names. I have by now like a few mails coming in every day saying that for my podcast, for my coaching stuff, blah, blah. People like changed, are so grateful because they changed their life so much. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm so happy that you're happy. So what I want to say is that I hope you deal with that better than I do, because usually whenever people thank me, like overflowing with gratitude, because for me, that's my natural being. I came here to live this design. So I tend to say, well, gratitude doesn't mean that much to me. What really makes me happy is seeing people using my content to improve their lives and become happy and the happiest person they can be, which is the truth. And at the same time, it hits people hard. So I kind of feel like I should be sorry for like the gratitude not meaning that much to me, but I absolutely love people telling me their stories, like how they improved their life, what they changed, what they experienced, realized, how much they found. Oh, this is my biggest reward. People finding the love for themselves in them, like realizing that what we like others for, their goofiness, their mistakes and stuff, we judge in ourselves, and like we treat ourselves in such a bad way all day, naturally, because we learned it like that. And that's my biggest reward, I think, when people realize that they are actually perfect beings with the perfect design. And everyone, and like finding or realizing that they deserve everything they dream of. Yeah, that's my biggest reward. Fuck gratitude. Okay. Don't send me mails with gratitude. It doesn't mean anything to me now. Okay. So coming back to you, Chris. Gate 16, again, in your throat, is activated in a conscious way. And this is the gate of selection. We share this gate as well. It's like we're one person. We share this gate as well, and thus we realize immediately which projects and people show potential and which don't. Gate 16 in us is what praises and criticizes other people in a quick way, making us recommend projects, topics, or ideas that we value. And we will also criticize Trump whenever he fucks up. We hate being forced into doing and proceeding those things we don't find value in. And we don't like supporting unthankful people demanding things from us. Gate 16 will always draw the people and supporters into our life that we need to pursue the projects we expect to be successful. That we need to pursue the projects we expect to be successful. Makes sense now. See, I take a look at your chart, I write down some notes, I build sentences from it, mostly starting in German and translating it into English, because I mean, I love German, I like English, but it's not my mother tongue, and sometimes I get lost in my own sentences. Just making myself a bit more vulnerable so I don't get mean comments under this video. You just know I know what I'm doing. Okay, so coming to your self-center. There are two gates activated in your self-center, one conscious and the other one unconscious. The conscious gate is gate 46, the gate of serendipity. Serendipity. I have no clue how to pronounce that, but you know what I mean. You have a certain skill for being at the right place, at the right time, to accidentally discover useful or pleasant people and situations. Whenever you trust the universe, you will not be forgotten by fortune, which is this gate is one of the 4 gates of love. I just love them. I have none of them. And this one is activated as the love to your own body, which shows in a fit shape, in your nutrition, in your self-care, and your tattoos. For living your true nature, you need to be feeling the constant appreciative connection to your body. The unconsciously activated gate in your self-center is gate 25, the gate of innocence. And that your outer world sees in you so much, but you don't. I am so sure that you have this gremlin too in your head saying that if they knew how I really was, they wouldn't be thinking that about me. And I can tell you that you're wrong. Everybody has this belief, and it's not right in anyone. You have a certain childlike energy on you that often covers the fact that your life is difficult and often seems exhausting to you. You have a deep, deep trust that the universe takes care of you and that love can overcome anything. Because it can. How sad can people be who don't have this belief? Sorry for that outburst. That's why you can meet obstacles with trust and a smile, usually, if they don't make you angry. If you're not losing it, then you're going to destroy people and places. This gate is the second gate of love that you have activated. This time, it's the unconditional love that you crave to find throughout your lifetime. The love that, oh God, the love that withstands chaos and drama and gets wiser and wiser with the years. Your dealing with the world shows up as always being honest, true, and candid. You rarely plan on what to say in a speech, but rather, where am I? Rather let it flow through your mind, acknowledge it as potent, and then give the words it has been waiting for from you. People may easily want to exploit your innocence in many ways, and you will meet them in a compassionate way. Forgive, understand, forgive, but not forget. In a world of love, what problems can there really be? Might be something that soothes your pain whenever it arrives. Weltschmerz is something you only know in a deep melancholic way, rarely in a desperate way. You trust that you and everyone is loved by the universe. Just trust the universe might be a standard answer given by you, and that is exactly the vibe that heals people just by being in your aura and surrounded by you. Do you get why I love this gate? It's just people with this gate are the most lovable, unique, golden-hearted people ever. You don't have a single gate in the heart center activated, meaning you're the most generous person ever. It even gets better. At some point, I'm like, okay, you've got to stop praising this guy. But I'm just reading your chart, so it's not my job to stop praising you. It may be hard for you to find the value in anything worldly, mostly yourself. This openness in this center makes you humble and confused towards people who constantly inform others about how great they are. You may even be disgusted by those people constantly inform others about how great they are themselves, like not the others. So people who walk around like bragging and, I don't know, self-exploiting and stuff like that. You may even be disgusted by those people and look for people more like you that you appreciate for exactly the character traits you have, but rarely appreciating yourself. Meaning their humbleness and golden hearts that you like so much, because that's what you aim for in yourself and what you're already embodying, and that's in you, and it shows up. So in your splenic center, there are 3 gates activated, one consciously, one subconsciously, and one half-half. The consciously activated gate is gate 44, the gate of patterns. You are good in reflecting upon your own patterns and the ones of others, and constantly try to bring solutions and improving these patterns, which may be a big source of conflict. People don't see that you're really doing it for the greater good and may feel criticized and hurt by you. Gate 44 has a fear of repeating the past. It's as if you have the constant need to look back and ensure that you're really free of what has happened to you in the past. We share this gate too, of course we do. And I can find this mostly in my relationship patterns, like being hyper aware of whether the men I'm dating somehow resemble my past relationships and like the flaws I found in those men. I mean, I have the same profile as you, and we are designed to find every mistake, which is awful. It is. It's so important for me to reflect upon my mistakes and not repeating them. It feels so urgent that, I mean, I will do it anyways. I will repeat my mistakes because it's my design with an unconscious stream, my profile. I just have to try things to find out whether they work or not. And I have to repeat mistakes to find out if they're going to be mistakes the second time again. Yep. So this gate is able to destroy me living in the present and trusting in the future. Maybe you can relate to this fear. And I think it would be very good for us to like decouple the future from the past and concentrate on what we want instead of what under no circumstances can ever happen to us again, because we are manifestors. Energy goes where the attention flows. So let's just dream about how we want it and not be scared about how we don't want it. That's easier said than done, right? Gate 32 is activated half conscious, half subconscious, and it's the gate of endurance. It can foretell changes to the worse going to happen in your world from a long distance and will try to solve all the problems occurring. Its energy is to hold the vision and build the foundation until the timing is right. Love that. It also includes the fear of failing. You love continuity and strive for a path that is secure and steady. And you also love the idea of constant relationships in love, in friendship, in family, and you meet problems in these fields with endurance. Gate 18 is activated subconsciously, and this is the gate of improvement. Again, this gate can drive people and yourself crazy, mostly in combination with your profile one. You're designed to find every mistake in everything and offer solutions to improve them, which are not always welcome. This gate provides the need to do the inner work and to heal your wounds and make them scars. The goal of Gate 18 is to examine old patterns and traditions in order to bring improvements to ourselves and the world. This gate rewards us for this painful work by letting us feel massive peace and freedom when we overcome our old patterns and evolve into a better version of ourselves. It can almost be said that it is a hobby to find our conditioning by our parents and like our surroundings and our school time and our friends, and to retrack and regain the person we actually are or want to be. You probably can relate to the moment where you realize that you don't, you'd have the undefined self-center, so you probably can relate to that moment where you notice that you actually don't really know who you are and you try to retrack, well, what are my patterns and how did I react? And why did I react like this, even though it might not actually be out of me being myself, but me just trying to keep people to love me, to be part of the peer groups, to whatever. Still drinking coffee, 7:30. Mom's not proud. So let's go on. The gate in your sacral center that is activated both consciously and unconsciously is gate 14, the gate of the power skills. The core of it is generating resources to empower direction in life. You are, apparently not news to anyone, able to gain massive amounts of wealth. Everybody's like, do I have this gate? Massive amounts of wealth whenever you use your abilities aligned with your passions and the general welfare. You have the gift of possessing this wealth without over-identifying with it. So you know that abundance is always a question of perspective, and you love using your resources, to help the world improve. And if you master this gate, it is the awareness that life in itself is abundant and that there is plenty for everyone, and it's excelling in life when you are doing what you love. It's the willingness to have wealth and prosperity come from living with integrity and giving from the overflow. It's realizing that compromising your dreams creates powerlessness, and that's why we are never, ever going to pay this price. I think that's going to happen. There's only one gate activated in your emotional center, and it's subconsciously activated. That is gate 22, the gate for grace and charm. Love it. And of course, we share this gate too. For the people in your surrounding, not that much for yourself, it appears that you're attractive with your own individual way of living. Your grace can be found in the way you dress, the way you move, the way you treat people. It's like grace shines into the world through you and your actions. It's wonderful. That should definitely be a tattoo motive. I don't know about you, Chris, but I found this channel a lot in my life. But with me, it's half conscious, half subconscious. And I always found it in the way I appear and impress people by just being myself, which I'm never sure of because I have, like you have, the undefined self-center. And it took me a lot of time to realize and believe, believe them that they appreciate me for who my authentic me is, because I'm entering a room and my default mode is I'm gonna find out in a heartbeat which Svenja they need, like which version of myself is gonna be the most lovable in this surrounding. And I can deliver. I mean, do they need the teacher mode? I can do that, professional, no problem. Do they need the funny one? Do they need the spiritual speaker? Do they need, I don't know, me provoking people because I'm so good at it? What do they need? I'm going to be that. So being the authentic me and realizing that people actually like that, my authentic me, that's like very vulnerable and awesome. Because I mean, self-worth and stuff, if people find out how I really am, they're not gonna like me anymore. So we also share a very romantic way of looking at life. Animals feel drawn to us magnetically when challenged. I do have a few bats in my cellar, by the way. And they are like, I don't know, I feel like Batman sometimes when I go outside and get firewood in the winter trying for the oven, and I just run through my barn and there are those bats everywhere. I feel like Batman. So they have something with me. I don't know why they're there, but they're drawn to me magnetically. When challenged, this grace can turn into resentment and will have an impact on people. So let's be careful with how openly we let our emotional waves be seen. The last 4 gates, and I'm going to try to hurry up because you've been using a lot of time for this. The last 4 gates can be found in your root center, 3 of them activated consciously and 1 subconsciously. So let's start with the last one, the subconscious one, gate 19, called intimacy. This gate is causing sensitivity in your life, be it to food, to harm, to animals, or meds. Gate 19 needs to like and be liked, needs to appreciate and be appreciated. Togetherness, like a close family, a community spirit, are the platform for your success. You flirt with people I like this so much, in order to build up constant relationships or friendships as you feel the need to have those for materializing your potential. You want to be part of a family, a group that gives you a safe space. You may often feel like you know others better than they know themselves, and they share this feeling. Herein lies the problem, that you may be fulfilling other people's needs instead of your own and not noticing how unhappy it makes you until it's too late. Because this gate is subconscious, remember? So just feel into yourself on a regular basis when in contact with other people and take care of yourself, which you seem to have become very good at. Gate 52, love this gate. And people, oh my God. Gate 52, the mountain. It's the energy within you that might have been misunderstood as arrogance before. You're like a mountain, resting in your own energy above things. This may make you cumbersome and stubborn, but your clarity in this is what counts. Your perspectives always bring a certain objectivity with them that seems securing and well thought of. You just know when it's time to act and when it's time to be still. If the world around you goes crazy, you just love the sentence, this too shall pass. Also a good tattoo motive. Gate 39, the gate of provoking. Listen up, people. This might just be the explanation for like the pathway of leading to split ups. The gate of provoking shows as well from your inside by you feeling provoked through others, as well as from the outside. You're constantly provoking others. It shows in little nudges that people might constantly feel like giving you as an answer to your little side blows that your friends can expect from you at any time. You also like to provoke to find out and tease out the intelligence of someone, sometimes even to like wake up the lion in them. Gate 39 loves, again, to flirt and just be the pole that is thrown into the water, waiting curiously which fish is going to bite. This gate provokes attention in order to feel appreciated and worthy, while the exact opposite happens most of the time. And during the travel through life, experience can be great melancholy falling in, and we tend to get to know people, meet people, like putting a pole into the sea, and we tend to fall in and out of love repeatedly. And we don't have a good explanation for that. By provoking, you bring the deepest emotions in others to the surface, and that can cause massive drama and conflict when not happening on a conscious level. And whenever, I mean, even if it's happening on a conscious level, if it's too painful and you just can't seem to find no ending in it, that's a problem. The last gate is gate 41, the gate of fantasy, which we already covered in your channels above, so I'm not going to repeat that. So let's come to the last part of our session today. I already spoiled that I was going to talk about your sense of being, and I think I don't lean too far out of the window. In human design and in my spiritual practice, I already said that I come from a shamanic background, so everything in my world has a soul and has a deeper life in it. So we count on the soul coming with a purpose into this life. And as this is the most delicate part of your chart, I kept it till the end. So here it comes. Your incarnation cross is where this purpose is to be found in your chart. Is the right cross of Eden, paradise. You're a comprehensible but argumentative human being that has the gift to express deep emotions and states such as love and crisis in artistic ways, mostly poetry and music, to move and guide people. I love this so much. I don't have that incarnation cross. Of course I don't. Your task in life is to experience and articulate individual moods and process mental experiences to develop ideas about life. This matches, by the way, in a perfect way your profile. That's exactly what your design is about. Those crises that have hit you and made you lose your paradise, you feel the need to process them in artistic ways, and you also appreciate if others do this for you, and you can just find yourself and identify in their works, like in songs, in books, in poetry, whatever. Sometimes you need to draw back into your paradise, aka your home, for some time to regain your inner peace. It does take some time until you get lonely there, mostly with you being a manifester who really doesn't really need anyone. You're brave and greatly daring. You're a change maker with the deep gift of feeling and expressing emotions to the utmost. Isn't that a good purpose of life? So there's not much more to say about this than I feel like, wow, I love this incarnation cross, and I hope you do too. I mean, there's deep fulfillment in you, Chris. Finding a way to implement your design into your way of life, and on many levels, I think you're already doing that. I said that a few times. And I also love how we see this deep clash between you being a manifestor who doesn't need anyone to get into action, but who like actively chooses through his gates and incarnation cross the love in everything and everyone. And you can see it clashing, because those character traits, such as being argumentative, finding every fault, hitting people with being too much in your emotional wave, and feeling so deeply unseen in your depth, becomes clear through your chart and will be your greatest challenge. And I think you will manage, as I haven't lost hope for myself yet. We can do this. Love is for us too. Let's just not give up. So This has been my 4th episode on Chris Evans and my last episode on Chris Evans and his human design chart. I hope every one of you enjoyed them, found them informative. I mostly do hope you could take away some information about your design and your lifestyle, as well as ideas for improvement in living your design and your higher self. Let me mention, and this is so important for me because human design tends to say be your higher self and everything's going to be paradise, which I don't like. I think living your higher self is a great thing and can bring us into heaven. It can. And yet I deeply believe that we did not only come for experiencing the positive emotions, the heavens. I want to encourage you to also enjoy the lows, like your lower self, the dark days, because if you struggle against them, they're just going to be worse. So why not enjoy them? I once heard a beautiful picture for me is like the picture of burning dark wood and bright wood as fuel for your fire, like for your life energy. And if you're just trying to be one-sided, like just burning, fueling yourself from the bright woods, the shadow will only become stronger. So just take a look at yourself, find deep peace in being vulnerable and in make peace with the goofy you and the weak you and the you that is okay with meeting other people, because nobody should be an island. All of you ladies, we shouldn't be islands, even though people teach us to be like, be independent, be strong, don't need no one. And we wonder why we don't have working relationships. Fall in love with the weak you and realize that there are people, and then surround yourself with them who love you for your mistakes and for your character traits, all of them who need you in this depth. They will love you for them and not despite them, because people, you deserve it. Okay, so I'm sending lots of love to all of you. Next will be, as you asked for it, Scott Evans, who is, spoiler alert, manifesting generator 6-2, which is a profile and a chart that I'm so looking forward to. I'm going to be opening it for you in the next episodes. So guys, I will see you soon. And until then, you take care. Bye.